Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel. Peter likes books. Because I do. I actually love books, but Peter Loves Books was taken. So, hold please. I'm in the middle of 2 readathons in the summer of it, and I am like book crazy right now. And I've made all those videos, so if you haven't seen those videos about Emoji-a-thon and the sci-fi summer read and the summer of it, they're all listed below. Go check them out. I also talk about them in my car vlog. So I have been like full force back on BookTube, and I am having so much fun again. But anyway, I wanted to talk today, and this is a spoiler-free review, so I will not ruin anything for you, I promise, okay? But I wanted to talk about the book, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. And there is, can you see it? The Hate You Give, there it is, the cover. I got that cover off of Goodreads, but it's the cover of the book. Now, let me tell you, I'm gonna read you in a second what it says on here, what it's about. But I wanna tell you how it came about that I found this book, okay? I hadn't read any blog articles about it. I really hadn't heard much about it. And one day I was on Audible and I had like 6 credits to use. And it was recommended to me, it was like based on your purchases, it was recommended to me, right? And I was like, okay. It wasn't a bestseller, it wasn't like new in fiction, it was nothing. It was just based on your recommendations. So I was like, well, I like books that are based on my recommendations, obviously. So I bought it, and with one of my credits, and I didn't listen to it. And then I started seeing an explosion all over the place of people talking about The Hate You Give. And I really didn't read the articles because I didn't want to be spoiled. I didn't want to really know much about it going into it. I just heard that it was like super, super powerful read, and it was a debut novel from this author, and I was like, I'm really excited to read this, right? Now, what's interesting about this is the narrator, because I listened to it on Audible, and I'm gonna talk about the narrator in a second, because she's really important to the story that I heard with this, and I'm gonna explain that in a second to you. But I wanna read what this is about. Right now on Goodreads, okay, it only has 19,000 ratings. I mean, this is the must-read book of 2017. I mean, it is the must-read, you have to read this book. This book is so profound and important at our time. This book, 20 years from now, will be taught in schools. This book, this might be the most important book I have ever reviewed on my channel, and I am not joking. I am not saying that lightly. I think this might be the most important book I've ever reviewed on my channel. But it has a collective rating of 4.67 out of 5. I mean, no book has that, not even The Fault in Our Stars, which, you know, has millions of reviews. That is crazy. So let's read the book description as described on on Goodreads, because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. If you want to follow my Goodreads, it's listed on my channel. It's also listed below. Go follow my Goodreads. I accept everybody as a friend. So I love Goodreads. I'm obsessed with Goodreads. 16-year-old Star Carter moves between 2 worlds: the poor neighborhood where she lives and the fancy suburban prep school she attends. The uneasy balance between these worlds is shattered when Star witnesses the fatal shooting of her childhood best friend Khalil at the hands of a police officer. Khalil was unarmed. Soon afterward, his death is a national headline. Some are calling him a thug, maybe even a drug dealer and a gangbanger. Protesters are taking to the streets in Khalil's name. Some cops and the local drug lord try to intimidate Star and her family. What everyone wants to know is what really went down that night. And the only person alive who can answer that is Star. But what Star does or does not say could upend her community. It could also endanger her life. And really, that synopsis is really the theme that goes through this main story of this novel. But there's so many other things that go through in discussions of police brutality and issues in our country, you know, racial crime, white privilege is discussed in such a poignant way in this, you know, in this book. And as a white person reading this book, it's very important to go into it with, and this is just my perspective. I can only own my place in this world. I think it's really important that I went into it knowing that I was white privileged. And being open to being taught what somebody else's experience is like, even from a fictional point of view was profound to me. I mean, I cannot even tell you how I felt when this book was over. I felt in love with Star. She's an amazing character. In love with her parents. Her boyfriend in the book is amazing. Some of her friends they come through, but it's not a book for the light of heart. I mean, it is a book that teaches a lot of lessons. And I saw myself in a lot of the book, honestly, in not proud moments of my past. And I think that's really what books do for us today. I'm going to say something that I probably will get a lot of criticism for. I believe The Hate You Give, which spells thug, and Thug Life, and a quote by Tupac Shakur, is a running theme throughout the entire book. I'm getting chills even talking about it because it's so amazing how it is used from a pop cultural point of view into something that is so much bigger. And I really believe that for the first time since I've been alive, that this book is the modern day To Kill a Mockingbird. I really, really believe that. I really believe it is the book that needs to be out there right now. I don't know much about Angie Thomas, the writer. I don't know what inspires her to write. I can tell you this that I do know. The characters that she created in this book are real. They are blood, sweat, and tears. They are thoughtful, loving, sometimes not loving, real characters. I mean, they are people. When you read this book, you really believe you are reading it like reading about these people's lives. I mean, it feels so factual that at times I almost forgot that I was reading a fictional book. It felt very nonfiction to me. The importance of community is discussed in a way that I don't think we really talk about community anymore in our society. And I really think that privileged white people could learn a lot about the importance of community. In listening to it, I was like, we don't really have that place, you know? And we don't really take pride in that stuff. And it's sad. It's sad that we're divided by all of these things in our world, you know, instead of loving one another compassionately as human beings. There's only one person that could have told this story, and that was Star. It was pivotal that she was the one that told this story. And when you read the book, you'll know what I mean. Her circumstances, who she is, how she got to where she is in her life, and the background all brought it together that she was the one that had to tell this beautifully amazing story that is The Hate You Give. When I listened to it on Audible at first, I really, really struggled, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I started listening to it and I was like, I know this narrator. How do I know this narrator? Well, it's Bonnie Turpin, who I had just listened to like a month and a half before The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. 2 books. These are 2 amazing books that this woman has narrated. And it was a little distracting at first, I have to be honest with you, because I would hear like the characters from The Underground Railroad when Bonnie Turpin was reading about The Hate You Give. At some point about a fourth of the way through, I only heard Star when she read the book. And Bonnie Turpin is an audio narrator to be reckoned with, let me just tell you. I mean, this woman, she narrates a book like nobody's business. And to me, it was not missed that these books, to some degree, although written by different authors, but only like within a year or two apart of each other, belong together. And the fact that Bonnie Turpin narrated both of them, for me, drew a similarity and a line between the two that was so important. And that was not the purpose. I don't believe in why they picked her as a narrator. Maybe it was, I don't know. But when you sit back and you look at these separate stories and you look at the whole idea of slavery in the Underground Railroad and the circumstances of Star's life today, and it's hard to ignore the fact that a lot has not changed since those times. And that the voice of Bonnie Turpin brings these stories together. When it hit me one night driving around late at night, I just was like, this is beautiful, you know? And the fact that who we choose as a narrator for an audiobook is really important. And it's really important who tells our voice and whose voice tells our story. I was so impacted by this book. I can't, you know, I could get on here and go on and on and on for days and days and days. I know they're making a movie out of it. I talked about it on my live stream. And if you don't know, I live stream on YouNow. You can just check me out, Peter Monn, M-O-N-N, and I get on there every night. And I was talking about it, and so many people had read this book. And they were like, do you know they're making a movie out of it? And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that. Now, I knew that they probably would. I mean, they have to. They have to. My fear is, are they going to ruin the story of The Hate U Give? It's such a beautifully told story that I hope it doesn't get ruined in translation. But what I really love the most about it is that it is the language is very of today, but it is she is one of the very first authors I have ever seen, okay, that has used the language of today and turned it into such exquisite literary fiction. I mean, exquisite. I cannot tell you how many people I have recommended this book to. I'm like ready to go buy 20 copies of it and just give it to people because people are like, oh, it's on my list. I'm like, I'm just gonna buy you a copy. You have to read this book. You have to read this book, okay? It's important. If you are in high school or college and you're out for the summer, this is the book you have to read. I mean, this is the book you have to read. There are a lot of fun books to read out there, and there's parts of the story that I really enjoyed, but it's not just about that. It's a painful telling of one person's life and how they overcame this tragedy that occurred, and it's just so beautifully well done. And Star is a character that will forever live in my heart and soul, and I'll never forget. If you've read it, please leave in the comment section below what you thought about it. I easily gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. It was 100%, 120%. I mean, it's one of those books that you don't even want to rate. It's like, should there be a rating on it? I mean, who could criticize? I don't understand anybody that could criticize this book, but that's just my 2 cents. Somebody else might completely disagree with me. If you've read it, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't spoil it for anybody, please. And if you haven't read it, please, please give yourself the gift of this book. It's amazing. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.